Hey, mamacita. On this episode of the Mamas con Ganas podcast, I'm here with a very special guest, my dear friend, Jhorna Castañez.
Hello, everyone. How are
Welcome,
you?
Jhorna, back to the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me again.
Yes, she previously did several other episodes with me, all in Spanish. So this is her
Yeah.
first episode.
Let me tell you something. I'm a little nervous because this is really, I speak English. I try to speak English in a proper way, but sometimes I get stuck and I don't know how to say words. So I hope you guys understand my English. You know, please write it down here and leave it a note. So maybe I'm gonna learn something new.
I'm pushing her outside her comfort zone.
100%.
We previously did in Spanish, how to eliminate machismo. That was a Spanish episode.
Yeah.
It had two parts. And we also did this episode in Spanish.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about something hot, something sexy. We're talking about how we get our sexy back.
Oh, yes. And I was asking you to be part of this.
Yes. She said, because this is how this episode happened. I have a dear friend of mine who I didn't even know listened to my podcast, listened to one of my previous episodes because of an IG post that Jhorna did for me, because Jhorna helps me with the editing and she's part of the Mamas con Ganas team.
I'm one of the mamacitas like you guys, but I'm the one that is behind
the scenes.
Yes.
So a friend of mine listened to the IG post that you put up, and it was all about manifesting your sexiness. And that episode was in reality about manifesting anything that you want for the year and how to choose a theme for the year and how to, yes, just create anything that you want to and bring into your life and basically affirm it, declare it, and then bring it forth into being. But my friend thought that the entire episode was about manifesting your sexiness. So she said to me, Val, I love that episode, but please give me the episode on how to be a sexy mama and how to feel sexy. So I was like, oh, that's going to be a fun episode. And Jhorna, when I told her, she was like, I want to be in that episode.
You know why? Because first of all, I think, and we talk about this is the year that I feel more sexy and confident. This is the year that I've been more myself than any other year of my 37 years of life.
And that's an interesting thing because her and I were talking about this. Jhorna and I were saying, wow, like I'm almost 42 and I'm like, I've never felt so good in my skin and so sexy.
Yeah.
And she said the same thing. And we were both saying how, man, we didn't feel this way when we were in our 20s or when we were 18 or when we were, and it's interesting how I feel like we can take the opportunity no matter what age we are, because I plan to bring this sexiness way into my life. Like if I live until 100, I'm bringing my sexiness.
Amen.
I do believe that women at any age, can be sexy and feminine and playful and seductive.
Yes. And yes. Yes, honey. Feel the pleasure. This is the moment.
Yeah. So we are here to give you tips, because if you're feeling like not sexy, if you're feeling unattractive, if you're feeling like, man, I used to feel sexy, but I don't anymore, or if you feel like, man, I've never felt that for myself, don't worry, mamacita. This episode is for you.
Yes.
Because the reason why Jhorna and I are doing this together is because we've also talked about how we both went through an experience in our lives that left us feeling ugly, unattractive, like
self-esteem was horrible. Everything was like emotionally, I was completely disconnect from myself. Sexually, I didn't know what pleasure was because I also disconnect from my sexual area. And at the end of the day, I wasn't happy with me. And if you're not happy with you, whatever, everything that is around you, it's not going to give you pleasure, and then you're not going to feel happy.
Absolutely. And same with me. I mean, I went through a moment in my life, and I was actually 29, 30 years old, where I was going through my divorce. This is now like 13 years ago.
Wow.
But I remember that feeling of feeling like the most unattractive woman that walked this earth. I didn't feel connected to my womanhood either, and I felt like I had lost that power. And it's funny, and now I laugh, but at that moment I thought that was like getting old. Ha ha ha. Okay.
Yes. It's funny because now that you say that, when I was 20, which I don't want to go back there, trust me. I was so insecure. And every time I see the pictures of myself, I'm like, what were you thinking, Jhorna? You were so hot.
Yes, me too.
I like,
And any woman.
why?
Yes, I think any woman, as we age and we look back at our more, let's say, youthful pictures, when we
Yes.
were 15, 18. I mean, I don't know if you guys all felt this, but Jordan and I were definitely like, man, we used to look at ourselves and say, we were so beautiful.
Insecure.
Yes, why were we so insecure? Why did we not like own our beauty? Like, because I think in reality, no matter what you look like externally, because you and I have discussed this, it has
Yes.
nothing to do.
It's in the Spanish podcast. It doesn't have anything else to do to how you look outside. What's your body type? It's all about how you feel inside of yourself, how confident you are with you. Like, I think I said this in Spanish. I don't know if I'm saying right. It's about how you are connected with yourself 100%. Because sometimes we are trying to please everybody else, but we don't please ourselves.
Yes. Like we dress for other people or we do a whatever, a haircut for some other person. And we're always constantly trying to get approval from the
Yeah.
external world without
Yeah.
first
Thinking about
getting
you.
approval
Yeah.
from ourselves first. So, we both come to an agreement that the number one tip to feeling sexy is to work on your self confidence,
Yes,
on your
yes, and yes.
self confidence, on your self esteem, on your self worth, and on your self love.
hmm And talking about self love and self esteem, something that I always say is that it doesn't matter if you tell me, "Oh, Jhorna, you look beautiful. Oh, Jhorna, that dress look, or that shirt looks so perfect on you. That lipstick, that makeup, your hair, whatever you say, it doesn't matter if I don't believe that that's true."
It's so true.
And something that you said in the podcast in Spanish is like you have to say to yourself that you love you
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. So I had this revelation. It was like literally in the worst depression moment in my life
Yeah.
where I remember looking at myself in the mirror one day and I just saw these shallow eyes and it's like almost like I couldn't see myself
Mm.
behind my eyes. I don't know if any of you have
Been
felt that.
there.
And I looked at myself, it was like this emptiness behind my eyes. And I remember looking at the mirror thinking like, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there, Valentina? And
Yeah.
I remember that day particularly because I don't know how much I'd cried and cried and cried. So of course I had these bags under my eyes and my eyes were like shallow. On top of that, I had lost so much weight. I looked like anorexic literally if I showed you pictures
Wow.
of that moment in time. I didn't I remember feeling
You were not yourself.
no. I remember feeling and having that desire to disappear. Not that I was suicidal, but literally, like I almost wished that I could snap my fingers and disappear because I felt invisible.
Mm.
Because I think part of feeling sexy is feeling visible. And when you're
Yeah.
feeling invisible,
Yeah. You're not feeling
you're
sexy
not
at
feeling
all.
sexy at all.
Yeah. True.
And I remember looking at myself and then I don't know, something it was like grabbed me. I heard a voice and then I spoke to myself in the mirror and you
Oh
know,
God.
you could think I had a moment of insanity, but it was the moment where I basically
God was
God,
talking to
yes,
you.
God was talking to me and it was my moment of rediscovering my sanity. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "You will survive."
Wow. Oh my
And then
God.
I said it louder and louder and louder. And I remember going crazy in the mirror, going, "You are going to survive," and screaming at myself because I felt like the weak
Wow.
one that was looking in front of me needed somebody to
The
tell her
push.
that, yes, needed that push, like, you were going to survive. And I need to hear that. And then after the exercise, I didn't know it was an exercise at that moment, but then I was like, okay, wow, I have a little bit more
Your
energy.
energy change.
My energy changed.
Yes.
And then another time that I did it was more tender because what I told myself in the mirror was, I love you.
And that's not so hard to say to ourselves. And that's one of the things that I had to learn the past year. Because I think you know, but they don't know that I've been through this path of self-discovery and self-healing for the past 4 years since I got divorced from the father of my kids. And I was trying to find myself, but I was trying to find how to please everybody else. That was the beginning of my path. Like I was trying to impress some people because I wanted to find a great job, because I wanted to look better for that specific type of people that I want to be surrounded. And then it was working. That's the funny part. It was working, but I didn't know I was doing that also in order to help myself. I was trying to, quote unquote, try to find better friends or better
Surroundings,
surroundings.
better
Exactly.
better environment.
Exactly. And then, when I saw, oh my God, this is good. This is working. Everything on me started changing. That even the people that I was going out with, I didn't like them anymore. You know what I mean? It was like something wasn't, I didn't feel
It
the
wasn't
connection.
vibing. It wasn't vibing
Yes.
anymore. Yes.
The energy was different. The topics that we were talking, it was different.
It no longer interested you.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And everything on me was changing. The people that I start talking with was changing too. And then I started changing my friends, and the people that I was now going out with, they were in the same situation like me, that they were
Yes.
looking for themselves too. And they were going to, doing different stuff. And then they were talking about, hey, can you do this webinar, or read this book, or, talking about different stuff.
Yes, because as you change, mamacita, you'll discover as you enter the world of self-development more profoundly, as you heal yourself, as you discover who you really are,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to change. And as you
Mm-hmm.
change, it's interesting, your world changes only when you
We
change.
are just telling you this, and I'm telling you this because you have to understand, whatever you're going to do from now on, your life is going to change. Just remember that. It doesn't matter if you're going to start doing it for somebody else. Maybe you want to impress your husband, maybe you want to impress your family, your friends. It doesn't matter. But you're going to start changing. And after that moment, trust me, you are going to feel so different, and your energy is going to be like,
Life will never be the same
not at
again.
all.
And interestingly enough, I think even if you start doing it for somebody else, you end up realizing that in essence,
It was for you.
it was for you.
Yeah.
So if you have never told yourself, I love you,
This is the
that's
first step.
exercise number one.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to look at yourself in the mirror today and you're going to say to yourself, I love you.
Hey, something that I don't know if this happened to you, but the first time I say I love you, Jhorna, for the first time, first of all, I didn't see myself. I think I was saying this like, like I
Like a
was,
robot.
yeah, like I had to say it. Like I had to say I love you, but I didn't see it. But I forced myself to do it. Like I was like, in this moment of my life, I was like, I have to say I love me. I have to say myself, I have to say this to myself every single time. So I was looking at myself in the mirror and I didn't see me, which is wow now for me to say, but it's the truth. I'm being honest with you. I'm being very vulnerable with you guys. I didn't see myself at all.
Well, it was like what I'm telling you. When I looked at myself, there was only emptiness. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see Valentina. When I started saying that to myself too, it's all of a sudden I was able to actually see the girl in front of me in the mirror.
But you see it immediately?
No,
How long it took
no,
you?
but I remember so the exercise of I will survive happened in one instant. And then the I love you exercise was another moment where, but that time I broke out into tears. Like I cried and cried. And then I looked at myself and I'm like, oh, I love you. Yes. Oh my God. How can I never told you I love you? I love you. I love you.
Yeah.
Regardless of your mistakes, regardless of who you are, what you look like. I love you. You're so beautiful. How could I have not told you this? It's almost like reconnecting with that inner child.
It's so funny now because I remember last year I was telling you, for me it was really hard to cry because I thought crying was something that strong people cannot do.
Like a sign of weakness.
Exactly. For me, was that kind of thing. Like when I was getting separate from my ex, I didn't want to cry. And every time I wanted to cry, I stopped myself. I was like, nope.
Because you had like sort of maybe forced yourself to think that, well, you shouldn't be crying about that. It's not, it's something
It,
that I need to be over it with.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Because sometimes I feel that our society, oh, you're crying like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that thing.
It's a
So it's like
horrible
as
thing
if
to
it's a
say, by
weak,
the way.
yes, it's a
Don't
horrible
say
thing.
that.
Yeah. As if
Do not
crying,
even say it to
yes.
your kid, to your son or your daughter. That's not a good thing to say. We cry, period. Is something good. You have to let yourself cry.
And feel.
Yes.
Yes. Particularly when you've been like holding on to such pain in your heart and it really does need healing. So I know, Mamacita, you might be saying, I thought you're going to tell me.
Going to say, put on this underwear.
And this, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But first, I mean, we need to cover basics.
Because it's important.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? Like talking about the fact that this has nothing to do with body types. We all know that woman who doesn't have the quote unquote perfect body or look that society deems as ideal. And she walks and struts her stuff like it's nobody's business. And she looks so hot. And everybody in the room turns around to look at that woman.
Yes.
And she knows she's hot, and she is, because she knows it first.
She's wearing confidence.
She's wearing confidence. This confidence is sexiness. And we were actually doing, before we did this episode, we were looking at one of my favorite TED Talks, which is all about seduction. And we're going to put it up on the website. So if you want to listen to this episode about seduction, you're going to have to go to our website, mamasconganas.com/71.
You will see the TED Talk right there.
I want you to write, tell me what you thought about this episode, but also check out that TED Talk because it's amazing. And interestingly enough, even after we had done the Spanish episode, she said that number one was desire for her. Yes. She said you need to have desire to be a seductress. And number two, you need to have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And confidence doesn't come, as we all know, without deep gratitude for who we are and what we have, but also in like being and loving ourselves, being loving towards ourselves.
Yes. It's funny because nobody teach you that until you are ready to teach that yourself.
Yes, to learn that for yourself. Absolutely.
It's like you have. For me, in my situation, I don't know about you girls, but for me, it was like I had to go through the worst time of my life to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it this way, but fuck this shit. I'm going to make something better of myself.
Yes.
And it was that moment when I started working on me, and then little by little, I'm still walking, and sometimes I'm not walking. Sometimes I'm like,
we are all work in progress, baby. We're all work in progress.
But you know what? It's when I did the webinar, something that calls my attention.
Okay, because Jhorna did a webinar recently about sensuality and sexuality.
Yes.
And also reconnecting to your femininity.
100%. Yes. And this girl, she was talking about stuff that you have to do, exercises that we're going to give you those exercises because you're going to do the same in your house on your own time. But one of the things that calls my attention is that pleasure for many women, it's something that they do, like it's like something that you're going to do for somebody else. You're not going to do it for you. It's like you feel guilty about it.
So you're saying that you discovered in the course that for women, a lot of women, pleasure is a source of guilt.
Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like we're so conditioned to pleasing others. And I think a lot of us can admit that sometimes we can be people pleasers. And then we're sometimes the last person to take care of ourselves. Like we put ourselves last.
Mm-hmm.
And with pleasure and sexuality also.
Yep. And one of the things that she said is that you have to make love to yourself.
Ooh, so that's the advice. Besides working on your confidence, mamacita, you got to make love to yourself.
Oh, yeah, honey. This is the moment. And yes, we're talking about masturbation. Yes, It's part of the thing, but it's not just that. Okay. Loving yourself, make love to yourself is also taking care of the things that you will do for somebody else. For example, what would you do for your husband just to impress your husband? You will do dinner for him, maybe. You will wear that beautiful gown that you feel he's going to say, oh my God, you look so sexy. Okay, now you're not going to do it for him or for anybody else. You're going to do that for yourself. If you want to go to this specific restaurant because you said, I want to go that with my husband or with my boyfriend or with my partner or whatever, now you're going to take yourself, just you, nobody else.
So it's like dating yourself.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Because I do think that that has to do with reconnecting to your feminine aspect. Because if you go on a date with yourself, you're no longer worried about what the other person thinks. You're just thinking about what brings you pleasure. So you order what you love, you go to the restaurant you love, you drink what you love, and you dress up
for you.
For you.
That's it. That's the only thing.
And that's the thing. How many times, and this is a question for you, mamacitas, how many times do you dress up for you? Because I think a lot of times we might be caught up in like, oh, this is fashionable. Let me get this and that.
Yeah.
But in reality, are you wearing that because it makes you feel
sexy
and amazing? Or are you wearing that just to impress others? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, something can be in fashion, but not necessarily light you up inside.
Mm-hmm.
And why waste your time? Life is too freaking short, mama.
Yes, honey.
Why waste your time dressing up for others when the real one you have to impress
is
you. Yourself?
That's it.
And so tell them about the bath exercise.
Oh my God, this is so fun. And this is my favorite. And I was talking about this one in a Spanish podcast so much. I was like sick of it. I was like, Jhorna, this is too much.
No, but you know what? Hold on a second. I have to say this because this is the best part about this exercise, in my opinion, is that, you know, we're approaching Valentine's Day right now, right? Yes. So, and Valentine's Day can in reality be any day of the week.
Of course.
But why I like this is because it's not just targeted for women who have a man. If you're a single mamacita, learn
this is perfect for you.
How to make love to yourself, how to take yourself out for dinner, how to dress up for yourself, how to impress yourself, how to love yourself so much that the world is going to find you simply irresistible.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me.
Sorry for the interruption, Jhorna.
It's coming. This is the moment where you're going to take yourself to the shower. Or if you have a bathtub, that will be even better. This is for you to say, okay, I'm going to take this specific time for me. No kids, no husband, no friends, no fun. Excuse me, but your phone also have to get out of this. You're going to do this only you, yourself, and yourself. As the song said, you, me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
This is you, yourself, and yourself, period. So you're going to buy flowers if you have a bathtub, or you're going to go and buy that soap or gel soap, which is better. I'm going to explain why. And you're going to look for that specific smell, because what we talk in the Spanish podcast, you're going to use the 5 senses.
Yes.
This is the time that you're going to use your 5 senses and you're going to experience this for you only. So you're going to go.
It's sort of like seducing yourself.
Oh, yes.
And almost like, seducing yourself and wooing yourself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I love that.
Oh, yeah, yes. You know, after you go shopping, you're going to buy this soap or this gel. Try to find the smell that you feel more comfortable, that you feel that it's taking that thing that when you smell it, it's like, oh my God, I love it. I want to smell like this every single time. So buy that.
Or if you have it already at home,
that would be best. That would be
money.
Best. But this is something that maybe you're not used to. This is out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
If you have it, great for you. That's one step ahead of everybody else. But if you don't have it, girl, I'm sorry, but this is the first thing you got to do. Go outside, find that soap, and smell it until you say, this is the one.
Talking about smells, Jhorna,
we're
going to take some time and hear from our sponsor right now. And let me tell you, the line of shampoo and hair products they have just simply smell divine.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
They capture that sexiness. Okay.
It's not about a man. It's about you. It's for you. Then you're going to do your shower. If you have the bathtub, you're going to, you know, do the bathtub, put the flowers because you have to see it. You have to feel that you are in this moment. Like it's so amazing.
Have to romanticize yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, the
That's
flowers.
the word that I was looking in my head.
Yes, it's amazing because like we do this, like you said, sometimes for our loved one, when we have a boyfriend, when we have a husband,
Yeah.
but we never think of doing it for ourselves. But how special are you going to make yourself feel when you buy, a couple of roses for yourself, pluck out the petals, and then lay them out on the bathroom?
Wait, when you're doing that,
and make a little heart with the petals for yourself.
You're going to do it, everything you're going to do it with intention. If you don't have a bathtub, then you're going to do the shower with intention. Why? When you do, you're throwing the flowers on the bathtub, or you're going to use the shower gel in your bathroom, you're going to say things to yourself that you will never say to yourself, like you never did it before.
So as you put the soap on,
yes,
and caress your body and touch
Yes.
yourself everywhere, you're gonna say, okay, like for example, what do you say to yourself?
This arm is beautiful.
Oh, I love that. This arm
Oh
is
my God,
beautiful.
I love my skin. These boobs, oh my God, they are so sexy.
They're so sexy.
Talk about your body like it's a magnificent
temple.
Yes, like you need to tell yourself those things. And honey, I don't know how it's like. What's the word?
Dirty talk?
No, not dirty talk. Like fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it. But
yes.
What you were describing to me sounds a lot like dirty
it could
talking.
be dirty talk too.
We do that sometimes. Some people like dirty talking.
Honey, you can dirty talk to yourself
there
if you
go.
want to. It's like, I'm fucking hot. Whatever you want to say, mi amor, just do it. This is the time for you. Because remember, the bathroom is the only time that you have for yourself.
And we appreciate, I think, our bodies so little.
Yes.
We criticize. Think about it, women.
The criticona is always there.
The criticona is always there. That critical voice in your head.
Yeah.
If you are that woman who says more positive things about your body to yourself in that mirror, when you look in the mirror, good for you. But I would venture to say that most women, when they look in the mirror, they tend to criticize themselves more rather than give themselves praise and be grateful for what they actually have.
Yeah. So that's why this is so important. When you are doing this, also, you remember, we're going to use the 5 senses. So try to find something that you can eat.
Chocolate covered strawberries, maybe?
Whatever you like, honey. The things that you feel, it's like, oh my God, when I eat this, I remember like I'm at the beach or whatever you feel. Something that you're going to eat, but the music that you like.
Oh, that's important. The music, the right music.
You have to play that song, that playlist that you say, oh my God, when I listen to this, I feel so sexy, or I feel so connected with myself. Just play the music that you like. This is not about, and being so adamant about this. This is not about anybody else. You're going to please yourself.
And it's interesting because sometimes when we are not used to doing certain things, we might be like, oh my gosh, but I don't know what music I like.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know what music you like, because you're so used to playing music that's going to please somebody else, discover.
Google, girl, go to YouTube.
Yes, sexy songs of 2021 or 1981, who knows?
I don't know, just try to find that song.
So you're going to use the 5 senses to basically make an experience for yourself.
Yes.
Of the perfect moment where you're going to seduce yourself in the bathtub. And then afterwards, you're going to get dressed.
Okay. The second part of this, I know this is something that is not going to happen every single time. But remember, this is something that you're going to make the specific schedule for you. When the kids are not with you.
Set aside a couple hours.
Yes,
absolutely.
You have to wait for your husband to get away from the house, or your boyfriend. You have to take the kids. If they are in the school or you have the time, I don't know, just do it, girl. Well, after that, you're going to keep on listening to this music. You're going to keep on playing the music at your bedroom, which is the best place, I think. But if you have space, that will be awesome. And wear that clothes, specifically first, the underwear.
Oh, yes. I love pretty underwear. And I always say I enjoy my pretty underwear more than even my husband enjoys it. Because who's the one to look at myself all the time in the mirror?
You.
Me.
Yes.
So I personally don't like ugly bras. When they get ugly, I throw them out. I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't feel pretty when I wear this bra.
That's one of the things that we sometimes don't care, because I remember I was like that. I remember I was all the time trying to, take care of everybody else on my underwear area. And I look at my bras and I never felt happy about it. It was like, oh, my bras, they look horrible. But I didn't do anything. So this is the time, at least if you don't have the bra, we're not telling you that you're going to do this shopping list of, a lot of money. Just try to do this as often as you can, because this is something that you're going to appreciate more and more.
I think so. I really do think so. Because it's like you start from the base
Yes.
up.
Yeah.
Like you have pretty underwear, it changes you. You put it on, you're like, that's really nice. Look how it makes my boobies look.
Oh yeah. A good bra is like right away the tatas are like,
Like
okay,
my push-up
honey,
bra. Ooh.
honey, thank you. I loved you. Let's go. So put on the underwear, then perfume, cream. You're gonna do the same thing
With
when
the
you are
cream.
putting on your cream. So do it
Intention.
slowly. Do it with, with love, with passion.
How many times do we do that? That's the thing.
Not not all the
We need to
time.
sort of remember and remind ourselves to do this. Because at the end of the day, it really is about appreciating our bodies. Because if I think when we do, once we get to appreciate ourselves, then again, it doesn't really matter if the external physical part of it has
Mhm.
changed. It's really about the way we see ourselves.
Yeah.
And I had a moment last year. It's kind of interesting. And I was like, thank the Lord for this day. I was getting ready to go to the beach, and we were going to go on my dad's boat, and I put on that bikini. And you know that moment where you put on your bikini and then you turn around in the mirror and you just don't like what you see?
Yeah.
And I remember looking
Yeah.
around and looking at my butt and going like, oh my God, I have so much more cellulite this year than I did last year. And then for some reason, though, I stopped myself in my tracks and I was like, why are you talking to yourself like that?
I know.
Like, why?
Yeah.
You wouldn't permit anybody to talk to you like that. You wouldn't let your husband talk to you like that or your best friend
Sometimes
talk to you
you
like
have
that.
to be tough to
We're
yourself
like
too.
so nasty to
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, yeah.
So I literally said, okay, that's it, no more. And
Yeah.
I said to myself, I don't know what it was that just, it was a snap that
Yeah.
changed. I go, I'm going to take this cellulite to the beach and be proud of it.
Hell yes.
And then I turn around, I remember looking at myself, I go, man, I never accepted myself as I am, but from now on, today, moving on and forth, I will love myself as is.
Yes.
Cellulite, wrinkles,
And all.
rolls, and all.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I think when you actually accept yourself,
You're fine with it and you feel confident.
yes, and that gives you gasoline to take care of yourself more. It's not
Mhm.
like you accept yourself as is and then you let yourself go. No, when you truly love yourself, then you know and you look when you're going to eat something like, is this good for me? Or when you drink something, you're sort of more determined to give yourself the good stuff. Why? Because you love yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, and this is reminding me of the movie I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer.
I know she keeps talking about that movie and I still haven't seen it.
Guys, if you haven't seen this movie, you have to, because for me it was a before and after in my life when I saw the movie, because I was in this path, but I didn't get a lot of things that I was doing. And one of those moments, it's like those are aha moments. I remember when I was watching the movie, and she was so confident, like so incredible.
So she's
It was
telling me.
like,
So she what happens in the movie? You said she knocks herself in the head.
yes, she was at the beginning she was insecure about herself. She was feeling ugly. She was, how we feel about it. We've been there, done that. But then she knocks herself in the head in the gym, and when she wakes up, she looks at herself in the mirror and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so hot. Oh my God, this body."
Yes, and that's the
Oh my
aha
God.
moment. Yes, that's what we want you guys to experience.
Exactly.
That's what we
But
want
you don't need
guys.
to knock yourself in the head. You just have to say it. Just do it. So when you're putting your cream, girl, you're going to do it saying, I'm so freaking hot. These legs, oh my God. Just say it as if somebody else is saying it, just telling you this. You know what I mean? But say it and mean it. Or again, fake it until you make it. Like you, one day, you're going to say, damn, I'm hot.
And you know what? Maybe if you can't find yourself like the courage enough to say it to yourself because maybe you really don't believe it, think about your daughter if you have a daughter, or what
Mm-hmm.
you would say to your niece. And if that girl was in a moment where she was insecure, but you're
Yeah.
looking at her and you know her value, you know her worth, and you know how beautiful she is, what the
Yeah.
words that you would tell her, your daughter, or your niece, or
Yeah.
your granddaughter, tell yourself those words. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to her. Because I feel like sometimes, like I said, we're the harshest to ourselves.
100%. 100%. Like sometimes what we said already, the criticona, the person that you have inside that criticize you all the time, that person is not good.
No.
It doesn't love you.
And it's not the real us, anyways.
Hmm. So you need to you have to be harsh with that criticona, and you have to tell her when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're saying I love you, because that's what happened to me. And I remember every time I said I love you, Jhorna, my criticona was like, shut up, you don't love yourself. And it was one day that I said, fuck off,
Mm-hmm.
fuck off, because I do. Because I mean, I'm not saying this is something that you're gonna change suddenly.
It might
It's
be,
not like a magic trick right away. About well, maybe
maybe.
I don't know. Maybe for you, you're being in the
Maybe
path.
it's an instant and maybe it's not. Or maybe
Yeah.
it's a path and it's a journey. And sometimes you discover it instantly, you lose it, and then you have to reconnect to that.
Well, I think I think once you start knowing how it feels, you don't gonna stop
Yeah,
it.
you don't want to go back.
No,
I definitely don't want to go
I
back.
don't
I want
want
to
to
be
go back.
99 and still say I'm a sexy mama.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
It's like I want to keep on walking with my confidence. I
Yes.
want to keep on feeling, secure and sexy. Like hey, I think I said this in the podcast in Spanish. Imagine a girl getting inside a gym, walking, with the you
With
know
her, yeah, with her
her
all
shoulders
slumped
down,
over.
and that face that is like a grumpy and not friendly. But then you see this other girl that is like, even in her gym clothes, wearing confident. Like she is even sweat and her hair is so like messy, but she feels good with herself. You know the difference right
Oh, yeah,
away.
absolutely.
It's like you need to know that this is not something that is going outside. It's always from the inside, and everybody's going to feel it. It's
Mhm.
energy. We are energy. So whatever you have in your head, God knows better. Everybody else outside of you is going to feel it. So no matter what, all the time you have to tell yourself, you're amazing, you're beautiful, and I love you
Yes.
the
And
way
do,
you are.
yes. And do things for you. Like I was saying, and I said this in the Spanish episode, that I do ballroom dance Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that I love ballroom dancing is because it forces me to change my clothing and to actually wear something that always makes me feel sexy. And one of the things that when I put on makes me feel automatically like a tigresa are
Oh.
fishnets. If I put fishnets on, it's a different Valentina walking out that room.
Oh God.
It's like I wear those fishnets and my legs are like saying, hello, baby.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. And it changes my mood. So you discover for what it is for yourself that makes you feel that, whether it's high heels or whether it's a red lipstick or whether it's curling your hair, whatever it is to make you get in touch with that femininity.
That's my third one. Do something that you really like. You, only you. You're not gonna do something with your kids. Sorry. If you love cooking, amazing. But you're gonna do it for you. Okay? This is not for anybody else in your family. This is for you. If you like to dance, like Valentina, go ahead, take a dance class. At least once a week. Take
Yes.
1 hour for you.
Yes, because I think one of the reasons that people stop feeling sexy as they grow older is because they stop doing things
Please them.
please them and that reconnect them to like their inner child. And your inner child will guide you as to what makes you feel alive.
Yep.
Like there might be a chick who feels like a badass taking, motocross, it
It
feels
doesn't matter.
sexy
Yes.
driving a motorcycle. I do it through dance. Somebody else might do it through, I don't know, painting. Yeah, so it's all very personal and individual. Whatever makes you feel authentic
Yes.
and real and really connects you to that aspect of yourself.
But this is something that you have to sit down and make a decision, because I know it's hard. I know for a fact that you delay this the most. This is the step
Yes.
that we are so afraid to do. Like this for me, and I'm being again very vulnerable with you. It took me 1 year to definitely decide, okay, I'm going to do this for me. So you got to do it. I know it's going to take time, but write it down. Put it in your calendar. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah, write it on your bucket list.
Yes.
I have a bucket list. I love writing bucket lists.
But just like,
But do it.
do it.
Don't leave it on your bucket list forever. I had it on my bucket list for years to take ballroom dance. I swear to God.
Wow.
And then ever since I saw that movie with Vanessa Williams and Cheyenne, remember that movie? Oh my God, that was like in the 90s. That was a long time ago. 1998 or something. Like, this is a long time ago. Ever since I saw that movie and I saw Vanessa Williams in
So
her
sexy.
divinity and sexiness, I was like, I want to do ballroom dance. And I had it in the back of my mind. And every year, and I would tell myself I'm a ballroom dancer, but I wasn't a ballroom dancer. I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
And then one day I remember saying, what am I waiting for? Until I die?
Oh, girl, you don't want to die.
No. And I kept seeing this.
You don't want to die. And one day in the middle of, your deathbed. That's the word you said?
In your deathbed.
Deathbed. You're going to say, oh my God, I never did this, and that. No, girl. You got to do it.
Yes.
You got to do it. You have to make a decision for you.
Yes.
Like, this is, again,
and that happens in an instant.
Yes.
Because I remember driving by that studio that I wanted to go into a million times. And then that one day,
you make the decision.
For some reason, I stopped and I get my information. I booked my first class, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And you know what? One day, because that's also something that we have been talking about, one day you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my God, I was so afraid to do this. And now it makes me feel so good. And you're going to laugh about it.
Yes.
Because that's the funny part. Everything happens in an instance, as you said. But when that happened, it changed your life
forever.
And in an amazing way.
In an amazing way. Yes. But we have to take action, because living in our in our minds all the time and not actually taking action.
Yeah.
It stunts our growth. We just don't take the opportunity to make something happen. And we on the Spanish podcast, we talked a lot about also, the different types of energy, the masculine energy and the feminine energy, and the fact that as females, we have both feminine and masculine energy, and in males also need masculine and feminine energy in order to be good human beings.
A balance.
We need a balance.
Yeah.
And if you don't decide to do this for yourselves, I'm going to say something here. Connect yourself to the femininity that is the divine feminine that is within you. Not just to pleasure yourself, although that's amazing. Do it for that. But if you can't do it for that, do it to save the world. Because in the areas in the world where they suppress our sensuality and they suppress our sexuality are the places in the world, literally, where women's rights are being violated left and right. I was just researching today on the worst places to live as a woman. And one of the places that kept coming up was Egypt. Now, Egypt, which is the place, ironically so, that they invented belly dancing, now is the country that practices female genital mutilation the most. Wow. For those of you who don't know what genital mutilation is, female genital mutilation, it is the cutting away of the clitoris so that the woman doesn't feel pleasure during sex.
So, girl, you got to do it now. because of those women, they don't have the opportunity to feel anything.
Exactly.
Okay? So please yourself. If you want to, if you have not, ¿cómo se dice? Si nunca te has sentido un orgasmo?
If you've never orgasmed.
If you never orgasm, girl, this is the moment that you have to do it for yourself.
And do it for the 125 million Egyptian women who have undergone this.
Okay, you don't want to think about you.
Procedure. Yes.
We get it. Bien. Now do it for them.
Yes.
Because they don't have this opportunity that you have.
We have to save the world by saving our sisterhood, by saving our femininity. We need to balance the world, this very masculine world that we're in. We need to balance it with our power, our feminine power, which is extraordinary. And that's why they want to dim it, because it's so strong.
I was going to say that they are so afraid of us.
The power of the pussy, baby. They're so afraid of that.
Come on, girls.
I can't believe
we have to take our pussies and put them in a pedestal.
We do. There's so much power in our sexuality. We need to free ourselves of our sexuality, because again, I said, in those countries where our sexuality is suppressed, and most of them are in the Middle East and in Muslim countries, in those countries, there's no music. A lot of places music is banned. Yeah. Art is banned. And art and music is feminine. That's our energy. Yep. So we got to bring the power back to the females. We got to lift each other up. Pleasure yourself to empower yourself in the world. Mm-hmm. Go and do those 5 senses exercise.
Please write it down. Give us, leave us a note or a message on Instagram, on all the social media platforms, and let us know also how you feel. Like after these little exercises, you have to let us know how you feel. If you feel more sexy, if you feel more confident, if you want to wear those high heels just because you want to walk in your house, just put them on, girl. Just put the shoes on and walk. But walk like you are a fucking beauty queen, okay?
Yes, a goddess, a divine goddess. Because it's interesting.
We have a word in Spanish, regia.
Regia. I love that word.
You have to feel regia.
You have to feel divine.
Yes.
Because sometimes we wait for like an explanation or a reason to do something. I think the beauty about feminine energy is that the feminine is aesthetics. Mm-hmm. Aesthetics is beauty. Beauty. Yeah. We're women. We're flowers. And you know what? Men can find reason. They can find productivity, being effective and all that. They can be in the rational. Mm-hmm. Our energy is beauty for the mere presence of beauty.
Yeah.
No excuses, no reasons why. Beauty for the sake of beauty.
And something that you have to also close your eyes and embrace your femininity. Every time you have the opportunity to say thank you for the woman that you are, just say it. Close your eyes, touch your heart, put your arms on your heart, and say thank you for who I am, and say thank you because not anybody else is going to tell you this, only you. So this is exactly something that I'm telling you. Sexiness is not just something that comes from the outside. It always starts from the inside to the outside. Everybody's going to feel you, and everybody's going to realize she's changing. She's doing something.
She has that je ne sais quoi.
Exactly. Because once, trust me, girl, we said this at the beginning. Once you start doing this, you're not going back.
Absolutely not. So we're giving you permission. If you need permission,
we're going to give it to you.
We're giving you permission.
Yes.
And write us back, mamasconganas.com/71. Happy Valentine's Day, mamacita.
Happy Valentine's.
Don't forget to love yourself.
Make love to yourself. This is the moment, girl, that you can wear those heels, wear that dress, wear those, the stockings or whatever you
put on that confidence.
Oh, put it. First thing you can do after that shower, that beautiful bath, put on the confidence. Look at yourself in the mirror and say it to yourself, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great day, girls.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, Hey, it's Valentina. Espero te gustó este episodio de nuestro podcast. If you liked it, or if any of our content has inspired you in any way, I'd be ever so grateful if you showed some amorcito by reviewing us on iTunes or wherever you listen to us. Every single review will help us reach more mamacitas so they can live their life con muchas ganas. It's because of you, our listeners, that we're able to create contenido para otras latinas. 1,000,000 de gracias por suscribirte, escuchar y compartir nuestro podcast. Si tienen preguntas, comentarios y más, pueden visitar nuestra página web mamasconganas.com or follow us on social media at mamasconganas. You can also write me directly at info@mamasconganas.com. Hasta la próxima, es Valentina recordándote, don't be a mama con drama. Let's be mamas con ganas. Besitos.